Hello everybody and welcome back to the Leeds Lens. Well, that wasn't so bad, was it? That wasn't so bad, was it? Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. And Leeds United now go into Christmas, not inside the bottom three, and instead we are 6 points outside of the bottom three. Forest play against Fulham tomorrow as well. One of them is going to be definitely dropping points, if not both. Crystal Palace lost today. They did lose today. West Ham lost today as well. Fantastic. What a day this will be. Could this be an influential day in the relegation battle for Leeds United? Could this be the turning point for Leeds United? Because that was a 5-star performance. I can't believe it. I generally didn't think at all this season we would win a game by 3-goal margin. Didn't think that at all. No point this season did I think that was going to happen. But at this moment in time, Leeds United are on fantastic form. We are on fantastic form. We've won 2 of our last 4, unbeaten now in 4 games as well, drawing the other 2, and we're really starting to motor. We've got our striker in Calvert-Lewin scoring a brace today, scoring goals. He's got 6 in 5. But most importantly, at this moment in time, we are dominant on set pieces. It was set piece galore today. We absolutely bullied them. It was the exact performance we needed against Crystal Palace to win the game, in my opinion. That was the exact way to play. Crystal Palace, we know going to this team, a very tired team, injuries, all sorts of problems at Crystal Palace at the moment in time, just huge fixture congestion. And I thought that was blatantly obvious. I thought, to be honest with you, as soon as we scored that first Calvert-Lewin goal, we killed the game at that point in time. I thought from that moment on, Crystal Palace had nothing to give. I actually thought at 0-0, if I'm being totally honest, and we do want to be apparent on this show, I thought we looked bad. I didn't think we were playing that well at 0-0. And I thought we saw Rodon playing this right-back role, which I thought was bizarre in build-up, and it was looking a bit dodgy. And I'm thinking, we're not playing well here at all. I feel like Crystal Palace here for the taking, but I didn't think we were playing well enough. And then the long throws come into play. And Purdue, you know what to do. And Purdue, you know what to do. And that is the story. I mean, oh, wow. Yeah, Ampadu scored. We get a long throw in. Long throw comes into the box. We bully them from the set piece and Calvert-Lewin. And when it's going well for you, that's how you get a goal. You get a goal, you take a poor first shot, which it was, and the ball lovely ricochets back to him for a lovely, easy sort of tap into the back of the net, which makes it 1-0. And then the most important goal for the game for me was just before half-time. That goal was massive. Crystal Palace, as I said, we know they're in difficult at this moment in time. We know the fixture congestions are getting to them. We know they're struggling in terms of a fatigue basis massively. So to kill their spirit half-time with another Calvert-Lewin goal, for me, was the most important goal of the game. That goal was huge, and I celebrate that more than any of the rest of the goals in the game, because I knew that was a huge moment, and I thought that's what we saw in the second half from Crystal Palace. They came out second half for about 30 seconds and showed something, and they were like, and then as soon as it didn't work, and we sort of got back on the ball, got back to doing what we were doing really well in the first half, long throws, winning corners, just keeping the ball truthfully in the air, not on the pitch. We just started to impose ourselves on the game again, complete bully them. And for the most part, I thought the second half performance, in my personal opinion, was a really professional job from Leeds United. The only thing that bugs me slightly is that we gave up a daft goal at the end, but you know, stuff can happen. And as I said, let's be totally honest here. Yes, it was a disappointing to give up a goal, but truthfully, we've won the game 4-1, people. I'm not going to be moaning too bad, am I? And of course, they miss a really good chance to actually make it 3-2, which would have been squeaky bum time at that point, but of course they don't. And it felt like it went for Leeds United. And to be honest, I didn't think Palace deserved to get back in the game at all. And truthfully, I don't know if you guys thought this as well, but I presume a lot of you did. That is as comfortable as I've been in a Leeds United win since we've been in the Championship. We've had 4 wins so far, now we've got 5 wins, but 4 wins so far this season. And I'm looking at thinking that, that is as easy as a lot of the Championship games. I never thought Palace had anything. As I said, and I'll say this over and over again, they're really struggling with fatigue, and it was so apparent. Even the substitutions he made, like he brought off Mateta, he brought off Nketiah, he brought off Pino. They really, as soon as it went 3-0, that was completely done. And I thought their defending, obviously, for the goals was shocking. But as I said, that's not what's important. DR Drum says, boom, what, I can't say that word, win. Yeah, exactly, but perfect. What a result. Ampadu's shoulders will need packing in ice after all his long throws. 100%, mate. And can I give a shout out to Ampadu, by the way? Because for me, Ampadu probably should have won player of the match in that, or man of the match, however you want to say it, in that game. I thought he was brilliant. I thought that was by far Ampadu's best performance of the season. Yes, he was brilliant at the long throws, as we know. Yes, he scored a goal, but I thought he just dominated them in midfield. In a midfield that we know, especially with Adam Wharton there, who I actually thought of all the Palace players was probably one of their better players. I thought he bossed it in the midfield. And I thought Stack had a good game as well, obviously. Scored the fantastic free kick at the end, and that's something now he's added to his bow, that free kick as well. Phil says it was a Farke masterclass. It's interesting that obviously the result determines everything in this sport. Of course it does, and it will do in any sport, by the way. Result trumps everything. We've said on this channel so many times, Leeds United have played well, but they've not won. I actually think at times we've played maybe better than that this season and maybe not got all 3 points. But we played in a way, and we've talked about this so much on the channel, we played in a way that suits us at this moment in time. We are playing this long, physical style. And if you want a perfect example of playing that, it was tonight. That is the most we've played in a physical manner I've seen all season. The amount, how many long throw-ins, as we talked about already, but how many long throw-ins did Ampadu did? And in the second half, we were getting wise to it, which I haven't seen from Leeds United. Like, we get a throw-in on the halfway line, and we just throw it down the line, and then put pressure on Guehi, and he'd head the ball out for another throw-in, and then we throw it into the box, then we get a corner potentially from it, or create a chance, and it's just like playing percentages, playing up the pitch, playing space football. It's back to the Sean Dyche and the Sam Allardyce games of the world. But from this team and the way we play, it works to perfection. And again, Calvert-Lewin, I thought he took a lot of batterings tonight, scored 2 goals, but I thought his all-round game, his hold-up play, bringing people into play was really important and really, really good in my opinion. And I thought, to be honest with you, and I don't want to have too many negatives from this game, but I thought, you see when Perot comes on, the difference in the way that both of them can hold the ball up. Like, we instantly looked a lot worse, in my opinion, when Perot came on the pitch. And I thought that was the right decision to do. And I actually thought we'd get worse. But part of me was like, we don't want Calvert-Lewin getting injured. He's in a fantastic form at this moment in time. Don't let him get injured. So bring him off when the game's probably done at 3-0. Obviously, the game's never done, but it felt like the game was done in the way that the substitutions they were making, in the way the game was going. But yeah, fantastic. And also, there's a few shout-out performances that I want to say. But before we get into that, I want to carry on talking about the system a bit. Because one of the things that we've talked about a bit on the channel, but I don't think we've talked about enough detail, in my opinion. One of the main things that's fantastic about this back three, in my personal opinion, is it's what it creates in an attacking standpoint. Yes, I think it makes us much more assured defensive, like we talked about, but it makes us so good from set pieces. Every time we get a set piece, I am delighted, and I almost feel like we've got a really good chance to score a goal. Like we've almost got a free kick in a really dangerous area. Even when we get throw-ins, I feel like we look dangerous on it, and it's because of the 3 centre backs that play. Like if you look at the second goal, this is the perfect example for this. The second goal comes, and we score it fundamentally because we're playing a back three. If we're not playing a back three, the person that's heading that first contact ball is not Biol, and it's either a midfielder or a winger. Now, if Nonto's playing on the wing, he is not heading that ball. Let's be truthful. If it's a midfielder, they are not doing that header, because that header for the second goal was brilliant. And as I said, if you're not playing the back 5, you don't get the benefit of that being your centre-half heading the ball, and we don't score the goal, because, yes, Ampadu did a great throw in that one, but the Biol header is the goal. That is a beautiful floated header to Calvert-Lewin for the back post, and obviously we score the goal. But yeah, but as I said, part of me don't want to get away from the fact as well that, and I don't want to talk about it too much, and this is more closing whistle talk, so obviously stay around for that. But I do think as well, in my opinion, that I still want to see how we went on before we scored the goal. I think that'll be something we can definitely digest, because I didn't think fundamentally. I don't know about you. Again, I'm interested in the comments afterwards in this, but I didn't think we were that great before we scored the first goal. But as I said, the goals were spirit killers. The first goal completely killed Crystal Palace spirit, and the second goal fundamentally, I think, won the game for Leeds United and completely killed their spirit. And also, wasn't it nice as well that when you get to the end of the game, obviously I think people will go out to Ellen Road, obviously everyone's delighted with the result, but when you concede right at the end, you're like, oh damn, why did that have to happen? But then, of course, yes, we concede right at the end, but we then score a free kick with Stack, and I think that put the icing on the cake for the performance. And as I said, now you look at it, in my opinion, you look at going into the new year, and you look at where Leeds United are, and we are, as I said, we're 6 points outside the relegation zone going into Christmas. And let's be honest with all of us right at this moment in time, if anybody had said at the start of the season, by Christmas time, we'll be 6 points outside the relegation zone, we are all going, get Farke on a statue because this is fantastic. And I think that is something that's got to be credited. Yes, we know West Ham now have got good fixtures coming up, and as I said, in the closing whistle, we'll talk about this in more detail. But we have given ourselves a really good chance now. And as I said, and topped it off and given us all, we can sit on Christmas Day now, sit through Boxing Day and just be like, have a beer, glass of wine, and we don't even have to worry about Leeds United. Yes, I don't think we're going to end the season 6 points outside the relegation zone, in my personal opinion. I think there's challenges to come for Leeds United. We're going to go through tricky points. But it's nice that when we're playing well and when we're on a good run, we're picking up good points. Because I think at times, early in the season, we played well in games. We didn't actually get anything from them. Like I look at the Spurs game at home, of course, as a perfect example. Play really well in it. But we actually end up losing the game 2-1. And now we're starting to plug these things. Because as I said, fundamentally, points trump everything. Results, performances. But the performance, I think, was good tonight. Points trumps everything. Gerdav says, all Leeds aren't we? 100%, mate. By the way, as well, and we always have to give a shout out, but the fans tonight, again, I mean, it's said all the time, but that song, Let's Go, I'm not going to say the rest of it, is, and when that's going in full blast, my brother sits in the south stand, so he'll tell me all about it. It's just rocking. What a place Ellen Road is. And it's absolutely on fire at the moment. I mean, just look at what we're doing at this moment in time at home. The home form is so crucial to a newly promoted team staying up. And our home form right now is really good. Because they're by the way, I know they were bad today, but they've got the best away from the division. They've already beaten Wolves away. They've already beaten Fulham away. They've already beaten West Ham away. They've already beaten Burnley away. That team is good at getting points away from home. But Leeds United, as I said, have got this form now at home. And do you know the best thing about the home at the moment in time? We're scoring loads of goals. The last 3 games, we've scored what? 7. We've scored 10 goals in the last 3 games at home. Just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. You continue to score loads of goals at home with the atmosphere, getting Ellen Road excited. This team can stay up doing that. And that's probably the first time you're ever going to hear me say that. Anyway, thanks all for watching. It will be a shorter show tonight, but I hope you enjoyed it always. And of course, a lot of you probably going into the new year now, and it's a bit more of a nice time, you know, finish work, etc. I'm waffling, let's be honest. I'm just happy. I'm just truly happy. But I'll see you tomorrow for the closing whistle, everybody. See you later. And what a day to be a Leeds United fan. Fantastic. 6 points outside the relegation zone going into Christmas. You can't wipe the smile